Let's jump right into this explainer and explore how combining cutting-edge light and sound therapies is completely revolutionizing sports rehab. If you've been following the latest advancements in physiotherapy or chiropractic care, you already know that the holy grail in this field is finding ways to accelerate the body's natural healing process without resorting to invasive procedures. Well, today we're looking at exactly how that's being achieved. We're actually going to start things off with this bold vision from Dr. Phil Harrington. It perfectly sets the stage for the massive medical shift we're about to unpack. He predicted that Class 4 laser therapy wouldn't just be some niche alternative tool, but an integral modality used worldwide across all fields of healthcare. And, as you're going to see, that vision is rapidly becoming our current reality. Now, if you're sitting there wondering, is this just a passing trend? Well, just take a look at this explosion of peer-reviewed research. The sheer volume of new articles per year is absolutely skyrocketing, with total publications climbing exponentially. And we're talking about rigorous, highly scrutinized studies published in major, high-impact journals like The Lancet, Nature, and Blood. The scientific community is intensely focused on this right now. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. 1. Decoding photobiomodulation. 2. Powering up with Class 4 lasers. 3. Wide-focus shockwave therapy. 4. Treatable conditions. And finally, 5. Real-world applications. Let's get right to Section 1, Decoding Photobiomodulation, or PBM, the science of healing. To truly understand this, we have to decode the fascinating cellular science that makes it all possible. It starts with a foundational concept called photobiomodulation. Now, I know that's a mouthful, but the crucial point is that PBM is simply a mechanism where specific light triggers physical and chemical changes in your body without causing any thermal damage. By using non-ionizing optical radiation, specifically in the visible or near-infrared spectrum, your body's own internal receptors absorb that light. This leads to profound physiological changes and incredible therapeutic benefits. It's literally healing with light. This is where it gets really cool. Notice the intracellular mechanisms here, specifically the mitochondria. When the light hits the cell membrane, it targets something called cytochrome C oxidizer. You can actually think of PBM as a way to just recharge the cellular battery. By stimulating this specific enzyme, the cell vastly increases its production of ATP, which completely supercharges its functional capacity. And when you successfully recharge those tiny cellular batteries, the macro results are just incredible. The clinical literature shows that this mitochondrial stimulation leads to accelerated neuronal growth, vastly faster wound healing, and a massive reduction in the inflammatory response. It also promotes the proliferation of fibroblasts and collagen production, and those are the fundamental building blocks your body uses to repair damaged tissue. So why does understanding all this microscopic stuff actually matter? Well, for 3 big reasons. First, it builds much greater acceptance and trust within the broader healthcare community. Second, it allows researchers to optimize the exact parameters for future studies. And third, it directly guides manufacturers in engineering better, way more precise medical equipment to actually deliver these therapies. Which brings us to Section 2, Powering Up, Class 4 lasers from cell to tissue. Now that we know how the cellular battery is recharged, let's look at the actual hardware used to deliver this energy effectively into the human body. The major leap forward in clinical application here is moving from older Class 3 lasers to modern Class 4 lasers. The primary difference? Power and efficiency. Class 4 allows practitioners to push a therapeutic dosage of red and infrared laser light into a much larger volume of tissue, much deeper, and in significantly less time. It's kind of like the difference between watering a massive lawn with a little spray bottle versus a high-pressure hose. And that brings us to the modern marvels of this field, like the SumSP4 and Horizon devices. These units are engineered specifically to deliver this deep, penetrating Class 4 power. They represent the absolute cutting edge of therapeutic laser technology. They're designed to be highly targeted and incredibly efficient for the clinician using them. As you can see, the ultimate goal here is getting that brilliant red and infrared light deep into the target tissue. Because the Class 4 laser reaches deep from targets so quickly, it yields a dramatically quicker response time, far more consistent results for practitioners, and ultimately much more satisfied patients who are finally seeing real relief. Let's shift gears to Section 3, Wide-Focus Shockwave Therapy, Acoustic Wave Stimulation. Because light is really only half of the combination therapy equation in advanced sports rehab. Let's talk about the incredible power of sound. These are the Shockwave Vario 3i and 2i wide-focus shockwave systems. While lasers use light to stimulate cells chemically,
These devices use acoustic wave stimulation to physically remodel tissue. This extracorporeal shockwave therapy promotes angiogenesis, which basically floods the injured area with a dense new network of oxygen and nutrients. Moving right along to Section 4, treatable conditions, mapping the body. So we've got focused light to recharge the batteries and acoustic waves to physically remodel tissue. But what does this combination actually treat in a clinical setting? Look at this anatomical map. The application is truly full body. We're looking at relief for TMJ and migraines up in the head, down through the arms for bicipital tendonitis and tennis elbow, into the lower back for facet joint injuries and sciatica, down through the knees for ACL injuries, and all the way to the foot for stubborn plantar fasciitis. It is a completely comprehensive healing approach.
Now, a quick reality check here, because as with any advanced science, it's crucial we manage our expectations. This technology is incredibly highly responsive for acute sports injuries, inflammation, and soft tissue damage, for sure. But for tougher cases, things like birth defects or genetic disorders such as Ehlers-Danlos or Marfan syndrome, it's important to understand that these therapies can only help manage the painful symptoms, like the associated inflammation. They cannot cure the underlying genetic disease itself.
Let's wrap things up with Section 5, real-world applications, into the clinic. Let's take all of this textbook science, the mitochondria, the lasers, the shockwaves, and step into a real clinical environment to see exactly how it's changing patients' lives. This is Integral Chiro, a state-of-the-art facility founded by Dr. Gordon Pang. They are actively pioneering the combination of chiropractic and physiotherapy using these exact advanced modalities. In fact, they're the very first center in their region combining these specific disciplines with the Summit Class 4 lasers and LigaWave wide-focus shockwave systems under one roof. Here you can see the Class 4 laser in active use in their clinic. The practitioner is literally flooding injured extremities, like this foot and this heavily bandaged knee, with photons. They are actively jump-starting that cellular battery we talked about earlier, pushing that red and infrared light deep into the inflamed tissues to rapidly accelerate healing. And right alongside the laser therapy, the wide-focus shockwave is being used to deliver acoustic remodeling. You can see the practitioner using it on stubborn joint injuries in the knee and on a gel-prepped shoulder. This physical wave forces the tissue to adapt, break down scar tissue, and form those crucial new blood vessels. Combining these two forces, light and sound, creates a rehabilitative environment that is honestly greater than the sum of its parts. It leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought to close on. As we continue to master the therapeutic use of basic, fundamental elements like light and sound, we might just be looking at the ultimate future of non-invasive healing. Think about it. If targeted light and sound can fundamentally recharge our cellular batteries today, how will these non-invasive therapies reshape the very future of human medicine? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.